Hi, it's Mr. Evan from Belmont Hills Library, here with our Pancake Craft to go along with our Pancake Story Hour. This craft was actually created by our page, Miss Simona, but since she's in school, I'm going to be the one showing you how to make it. It's going to end up looking like this. Now it's got a handle, and you got this, and you have a pancake that hangs on here and a couple of pancakes in the bottom of the thing. You're going to come in, and if you get your kit, you're going to find in your kit a plate, two popsicle sticks, they're kind of large popsicle sticks, a piece of thread, a piece of regular yellow paper, and some yellow cardstock. And then there's also going to be two little bags, one of them containing sort of white frizzly paper. I think I called it scrunchy paper on the directions. And also one containing some scrap paper and also some sequins. So, how do you make your craft tossing game here? Well, the first thing you're going to do is make the pancake that needs to be tossed, because this is a little complicated and it may need to dry, so you're going to give it a little time. So what you're going to do is take your piece of cardstock and fold it in half. And you don't have to be too precise about folding it in half. It can be, a little bit off. But you want to get a nice edge right here. And then you're going to cut a circle. You're going to cut a circle out of this that's going to be your pancake. Now what you want to do, though, is you want to start cutting here, but you don't want to cut all the way through the bottom here, because you're going to want to be able to fold those two things over on themselves. So we're going to cut a circle here, and you can trim it if you want to make it look better or worse. If you don't like how you cut it, you can certainly trim off some stuff. But make sure to leave this flat side so that when you pull it apart, it's connected together here. So you've got your pancake. Now, as I said, this one's kind of got points on it, so you might want to trim it and make it neater. But that's how you're going to want to do it. So now, how do you make the pancake that goes in there? Well, in order to be able to flip it, it has to have just a little heft. You can't really throw it up as a piece of paper like this. It's going to kind of not go where you want it to. So we're going to give it a little heft. And the way we do that is to go into our bag with the scrunchy white paper and take out, and you don't have to use all of it. Just use enough that sort of fills it. And you're going to put this on here, and then you're going to essentially wrap this over the top of it so it sticks up a little. See how it just fills a little bit. And you can decide how sort of tall you want your pancake to be. I think this could actually use maybe one or two little more scrunchies in it here. Now this is the tricky part, because if you put glue around the edges of the bottom here, you can put glue right around the edges of here and press down. You're going to need to hold it in place for a while for it to stay there. I actually cheated and stapled, and you might want to staple around the edge here if that's a little bit harder, because glue sometimes takes a while to stick. Or I'm going to cheat again right now, and I'm going to use a little bit of tape to hold it in place. But glue will work too, just you have to hold it down for a while, or you put something on top of it so that the edges of it stay down, because you don't want the scrunchy stuff in the inside falling out. You want your pancake to have a little bit of, as I said, just a little heft to it. It'll toss better if you have that. So I'm going to cheat, as I said, and use tape, but you can use staples or whatever to hold it in place. This is going to be your pancake. And the reason we did this first is because if you did use glue, you need to give it time to dry. So this is not the ideal pancake, but it's going to look like that, and it's going to have just a little. You can see it's not quite flat. So then you put that aside because you want that to dry unless you've taped it or stapled it. So the next thing you're going to do is take your plate here. And what you want to do is make a hole right in the edge. And this plate design is actually good because you can see how these things come to sort of like a point here, or you get a dot here. You can use that dot to make your hole. And I'm going to just do it with the pointy part of my scissors. Just press it in there. You want to have it sort of in the middle. You don't want to have it too close to the edge here. It can be closer to this edge than that edge. So we'll put a hole in there. and, bore your way through. It doesn't have to be a neat, pretty hole. It just has to get through because you're going to push your thread through it. So you need to be able to get the thread through. So I punched a hole here. Now I'm going to take my piece of string and I'm going to push it from the top down to the bottom. So I get just a little bit of it coming through on the bottom. And you'll have to sort of grab it, and you may have to do a little more boring with your scissors to get the hole wide enough. It doesn't have to be pretty. It just has to be enough. Push it through. Here we go. See, it came through here. And then you're going to just tape that little bit here. You don't have to push too much through, just enough. And you're going to take a piece of tape and you're going to tape that in place. That's what I'm going to do right now. So we tape this right in place here so that the string comes through here, but it doesn't pull off, doesn't pull through. Now, you're going to take your yellow paper, before we do anything else, and you're going to cut a couple of circles out of here. Now, these are for the pancakes that are actually in the pan itself. And as you can see from the one I did, there are 2 pancakes in there. I'm not going to do it because you have to glue it down and it might take a little while and I don't want it to get it messed. But it's easy just to cut them out and glue them in place here. After that, you're going to take it, and you're going to have your things in here, and you're going to go directly opposite for where this is. You're going to go right across from here, and you're going to take this and you're going to flatten it out a little bit because this is where the handle of your flipping thing goes. And so you flatten it out a little bit, and then you're going to take one of your sticks here and you're going to tape it to the bottom. And you can use quite a bit of tape here to tape it in, or you can glue it too. The other thing you can do is put some glue there, put the stick on top of it, and then tape that down so it really holds. I'm not going to do the glue because it'll take too long here, but you can do that. So you're going to take this really carefully and tape it on there. And one of the things you want to do is get the stick end as close as you can to this rising part here, because it's going to have to hold the weight of the whole thing. So I'm going to put 2 pieces of tape to make sure that stays taped in place, one over the other. Now, you're going to take your other, remember we have 2 of these, you're going to take the other one and you're going to put it on top. And this is a case where you can actually put glue along here and glue on top and then just put it like this. See how that's over the top there? And glue it in place. I'm going to, again, tape it because I don't have time for the gluing. But you can put glue all along here and just hold it in place. Or you can tape it if you want. Either way works. Glue will, of course, last longer than tape. So I'm going to tape mine down. So now you got tape on top, and because I haven't glued them, I'm going to tape my 2 popsicle sticks together, or I guess they're tongue depressors or whatever you want to call them. So now you have your pan. This is the flipping pan here, and you'll want to make sure this is strong because you see it's going to have to take a lot of weight when you go to do your flipping. So you want to make sure this is well glued together and well taped, or however you've connected it so it's put together. All right, so now the last thing we're going to do, before we say the last thing we're going to do, we can also decorate our, both the pancakes that are going to be a plate and this one. That's what that little bag of sparkles and stuff are for. You can just take a little glue stick and just, go like this and dot this, and then just dump the things on, shake it a little bit and tip it off, and some of them are going to stick on. And you can do that with this, and you can do that with the ones you have in here. And as you can see, on the one that Miss Simona made, she made chocolate chips, and she made, well, I'm not sure, sparkly pancakes. So you can do that if you want to do that. I didn't put that on this one just because I lack time, but you can do that if you want. Or you can just have plain pancakes and they can be yellow. All right, so now we've got our thing here with this, and we've got our pancake. And now we have to attach this to this. And what you're going to do is take the end of your string here, and this is something where you might want to experiment when you play the game to see if the string's too long or too short. But for the moment, I tried to give you a decent length string so you can get the pancake up in the air. You're going to take this string and you're going to attach it to your pancake here. The way I found that worked best is actually to feed it into one of the gaps you might have on here, if you have a gap. If the glue worked, then you can just tape it on. In there, push it down a little bit, and tape or staple that in place. And I'm going to tape it in place right now. So, you tape this together, because you want to make sure that this stays on. Just the same way you wanted to make sure this didn't fall off or these don't fall off. You want to make sure this stays on. You don't want to flip your pancake and have it go flying. Well, you might want to do that, but that's not how the game's played. All right, so we've got this taped shut here, and now we have our pancake in here. And then what you do is you hold it in your hand, and it's good to put your finger under here, helps you do it, and you flip your pancake. Whoa, well, almost flipped it. You can practice. Ooh, that one worked. And you could just, see how many you can flip and how high you can flip it, and maybe you can even get it to spin a couple of times in the flip. Oops, that one just came right back down the way it did. There we go, it flipped over. So I hope you enjoy your pancake flipping game. You can spend a lot of time trying to flip and see how well you do. And if you get a chance and you see Miss Simona, thank her for it, because it was her creative and clever idea. I hope you enjoy your pancake flipping game, and I hope you have a good day.